hour, I think we'll get started. So welcome to everyone who has joined us for this session where we're going to be talking about how to drive digital advertising results with video and some of the inside tips and tricks that you need to know to really get started with digital advertising as well as level up what you're currently doing. This is going to be a half-hour session, but we're going to save a bit of time at the end for Q&A. So if you think of any questions as we're going through, you can use the question box as normal to put those in there and we'll come to them at the end. And as with all of our sessions, this is being recorded. So if you want to revisit any of the bits afterwards, I know Heidi's got some great stats and things in here. So if you want to pick up any of them afterwards, you'll get the recording later today. But for now, let's do some introductions. If Heidi, you can click us on.
Yes. There we go.
Perfect. So my name's Naomi. I'm the content marketing manager here at Sparkle, and I am really excited to be joined by Heidi, who is the senior account manager at Adapt, which is a digital marketing agency. And Heidi has worked with loads of different brands around the world to help them launch their digital advertising campaigns and make sure that they're getting the maximum results that they can get. So I know Heidi has tons of experience to share in this area, and it's awesome to have her on, but I know you'll do your own intro as well. So yeah, I'll hand over to you, Heidi.
Okay, great. Okay, next slide. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an intro to Adapt as well. So we're a digital performance marketing, analytics and consultancy agency, and we have offices across London and Bath. In terms of our services, we provide all forms of digital media buying. So that's across paid search, social, programmatic. We offer SEO and content marketing, and finally conversion optimization and web analytics too. So first, a little bit of an agenda of what we're going to go over today. So we'll cover why we use video in advertising, and then we'll move on to looking at video advertising across social platforms and how it differs from platform to platform as well, and how we as an agency use video to advertise. I'll then cover how we measure results with video advertising and kind of how we get how we measure the impact of video advertising too. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat and we can go over them at the end. Okay, so first slide, why video? So people are watching and consuming more video now than ever. On average, people watch 16 hours of online video content each week, and that's up 50% than they did 2 years ago. And not only are they watching more video, they're choosing video over other formats. So in a digital marketing context, we're learning about a product or service through a web page. 72% of people would rather watch a video than read a block of text, and I for one of them people. And from the most recent Cisco mobile data report, 80% of mobile data traffic will be video by 2022, and this is a 9-fold increase since 2017. And this global rise of mobile video is driven by growing investment on social platforms, which we'll go through today. So platforms are openly investing in new video formats, including long form and stories. And mobile-friendly subscription video on-demand services as well, like Netflix, are always looking for ways to improve mobile user experiences. Increasingly, most of them sign-ups are coming from mobile devices. And of course, video can convey so much more information in a short amount of time in comparison to a static image. So trying to articulate more than one message in a static image is difficult without it being too crowded, and video can obviously relay so many different messages while still looking clean, concise and memorable, which is what we want to achieve with advertising. And of course, video ads are more engaging, so bringing together two things that catch a user's attention, movement and sound, and both of these play a role in communicating an efficient message, and studies show that viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in video compared to 10% when reading it in text. So a moving image is much more eye-catching than a static one, and that's what we want in advertising. We want to catch the user as they scroll. And to support this, I had a look at some of the Facebook and Instagram campaigns I've recently ran across a few different clients. All these campaigns were optimizing towards the same goal, so in this case it was conversion, and all included a static image ad and a video ad. So the graph shows on the bottom there the engagement metrics that we use on Facebook. So we've got post saves, post shares, post comments, click-through rate and likes. And then on the y-axis, you've got the percentage of impressions served. And as you can see across the board, for each metric, video scored the highest. The biggest difference there is the amount of people that had liked the post for a video ad compared to a static image ad. So really interesting that with what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, we're seeing that video is more engaging. So next up, using video on social. So there's more social platforms now than ever. These are the social platforms that we advertise on as an agency, so pretty much all the social platforms I can think of, and each platform is different in where it sits in the cross chat. So some platforms such as YouTube, TikTok and Spotify are best utilized when building brand awareness. We've got platforms such as LinkedIn and Twitch, which are lean towards a more specific audience, so that B2B audience or a gamer audience. And although Facebook can be used for brand awareness too, within the past couple of years, they've introduced some e-commerce shopping ad formats, which kind of focus on driving response a little bit lower down the funnel. However, Facebook can be used for kind of all stages of the purchase funnel.
Sorry, Heidi, just to interrupt. I've just had a comment saying they can't see the PowerPoint, only the presenters. So I just wanted to double check before we carry on that everyone can see. It looks good for me, but I just want to double check before we, okay, it's all good. It's all fine. I've just confirmed.
Okay.
We're all good. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so the platforms that I'm going to go over today, Facebook, Instagram. When I talk about Facebook and Instagram, they're kind of merged into one. They use the same ad platform. YouTube, Pinterest, and TikTok, as these are the bigger ad platforms that we're advertising on currently. So I'm going to go on talk about kind of the key things to know when advertising on each platform and why we would use that platform in particular. So with so many platforms, there's each platform has their social unique format, so different content, and it's important to optimize video from platform to platform. So keeping in mind that although one video might work really well on one platform, it might not work as well on a different platform. So in this case, you may see TikTok ads don't work as well on Facebook and vice versa. A lot of clients will usually just give us one video and ask us to use that across multiple platforms, and it's just kind of not the best use of the video. And similar to optimizing video content across platform, it's really important to optimize within the platform too. So I'm talking about different placements. So in the first image on the left, it's in-feed video. So that's just kind of your standard home feed as a user scrolls through. And then in the middle is a story placement. And here you can see that the video is the same video used in the feed placement, but it's just square. And that writing that you see at the bottom is not customizable. So you can kind of change the actual text, but you can't change the design or anything, and it just looks a little bit unprofessional and not quite as fluid compared to the vertical content on the right. So that video is optimized vertically for story placements. And Creative Witch's mobile first has been that has been optimized for mobile has a 27% higher likelihood of driving brand lift compared to video ads that aren't optimized for video. And of course, 90% of people hold their phone vertically anyway, so not only is it important to optimize from platform to platform, it's really important to optimize within the platform too. And when we say optimizing for mobile, we mean by the video size as well as the length of the video as well. So it's trying to get that cut through of people being able of finding that optimization point in a video where you get that key information across without the users dropping off. And we find in feed placements are better suited for longer form content, whereas stories benefit from a shorter, snappier video. Users scroll through Instagram stories really quickly, and we tend to see actually the majority of the video and the key messages end up being missed as a user drops off so early. So a lot of clients spend time creating these really lovely long videos, but most of the time they're not being fully watched. And this also supports the importance of getting the key messages across early. So even within the first frame, getting them key messages of that product or brand across. A lot of clients will kind of open that initial frame with just their brand logo, and they're just missing out on getting those key messages across initially. A user is just going to see the brand logo and move on. It's really important to get them key messages across even within the first 3 seconds. So we tend to recommend GIF style content for stories, which are 3 to 5 seconds or shorter ideally, and then longer form up to 30 seconds for in-feed placement. So with Facebook and Instagram, just remember to optimize within platform, and if using stories, use vertical content for better user experience. Next up, we've got YouTube. So this is a really good platform for brand awareness, and whether that's a new product or a completely new brand. There are a range of video formats on YouTube, the most common being skippable in-stream. So after 5 seconds, a viewer has the option to skip the ad. And bumper ads are also another format that we use. These are 6 seconds or shorter, and they play before, during, or after a video that you're watching. And with these, the user doesn't have the option to skip the ad. And YouTube allows you to run a combination of these to kind of tell a really nice brand story. A Google study, 74% of users recalled the ad that they had seen in a video sequence compared to just a single 30-second review in-stream ad. So here, this is what I mean by video sequence. So it lets brands show ads on YouTube in a specific order. So the most common sequence that we've tested is the tease, amplify, and echo sequence. So within that tease phase, we would run a 6-second bumper, and then in the amplify, we would run bumpers alongside that longer form video, just to have that real impact. And then once that full story has been told, we would then re-engage with the user, kind of with a follow-up message, or kind of an update on the product. And these are some other sequences too that YouTube suggests. So you've got the lead in there, which is a 6-second bumper to kind of introduce or kind of tease the viewer into something that's upcoming. And then you can kind of serve them with that longer form 30-second content as well. You've got the mini series, which is, as it is, it's just kind of a mini series with 6-second bumpers. So the viewer cannot see the next video until they've watched that previous video and so on. And it's just a really nice way to kind of tell that brand story. Very similar is the direct shot, similar to the mini series, but the direct shot is literally just taking like a traditional TV ad and just splitting it up and running it on with 6-second bumpers on YouTube. And then next up, we've got Pinterest. So Pinterest is really different to other platforms due to the kind of platform it is. While other social media platforms create an outlet for people to interact with each other, Pinterest is somewhere where that creates an environment where users can connect with new ideas and products that interest them. Most Pinterest users are already in the mindset to buy when they're on Pinterest. And COVID really influenced the usage of Pinterest. People turned to Pinterest for that inspiration because they weren't being able to get inspired whilst they were outside shopping. And because of this change in attitude, video pins are more popular than ever. So there's a 220% increase on video views than the same time last year, 28% increase in video keyword searches, and 242% increase in organic video views. And on Pinterest, there's 3 ways in which pinners can discover new ideas. So you've got the home feed. So pinners are served recommendations. So they may follow brand, they may follow other pinners, or Pinterest may just serve them some recommendations based on the content they've previously engaged with. You've got the search. So whether a pinner is just searching for something in particular, and they can get served with ideas. And then once they've kind of engaged with that pin and they have it open, they can also get related content to that too. And in terms of video ad solutions, because it is a place where people come for inspiration and discovery, it's a great place to advertise. They've got their standard home feed placements, which is the video on the left. So you can have kind of like the half screen, this is for mobile, or that kind of wider width video, which takes up more of the screen, a better use of kind of the space just to grab that user's attention. And with Pinterest, this is quite cool. So you can create video collection ads, which are great for product discovery and shopping. So you're able to create a collection of products that appear in the video or from your catalog, and the user is able to swipe up and shop the products. I think it's a really good idea because a lot of the times you'll kind of watch a video, you'll see something you like in the video, like a product, and you'll go onto the website trying to search for it and you can't find it. So here it's just great to kind of feature the products that are already featured within the video. And next up, we've got TikTok. So after launching in markets outside of China in 2017, this app has grown in popularity over the past year. It's been downloaded over 2 billion times on the App Store and Google Play. And like many social platforms, they capture their audience and create a community before then serving them ads. So when I very first downloaded TikTok, I weren't seeing any ads at all. And now every time I open the app, I'm starting to see them increase. So they launched their self-serve ad platform in July 2020. So it's very early on in the advertising world. But as mentioned, TikTok revolves kind of around user-generated content. So when creating ad content, it's really important to keep this in mind. So TikTok has some tips to get the most out of the platform when advertising. They suggest shooting ads natively, so rather than a traditional polished ad. As well as this, TikTok suggests keeping content real and entertaining. Almost half of the auction ads with the highest click-through rate can be categorized as real or entertaining. And people come to TikTok to escape and have fun. So when they start seeing these really polished ads, it's just going to change the user's outlook on Pinterest and kind of irritate the user. And finally, trends. So obviously TikTok is the trend platform. There are new trends every day that users piggyback on and create content with, and incorporating these trends into ads is a great way to increase reach and start a conversation. So these are some ads from TikTok. So as you can see, they're completely different to ads that you will see on other platforms. And most of the time you don't actually realise that you're watching an ad. Pretty Little Thing created their own challenge, which encouraged users to create similar content using the same sound. So it was will.i.am's You're a Pretty Little Thing, and also hashtag Pretty Challenge. And this resulted in 11.5 thousand creators taking part in the challenge. And overall, the videos had an 18.5 million views. So it's great because you can create that one ad, and then if it's kind of a trend ad, you kind of increasing the reach with other people creating and engaging in that initial ad and sharing the video with their friends, getting involved, and it's just a great way to increase reach. And next on the right, we've got the Gucci ad. So although Gucci is considered a very high-end luxury brand, this ad probably differs a lot from their usual advertisements. It fits in really natively to the user-generated content, and people are more likely to pay attention and watch the video if it looks more native than a polished ad. So how do we measure the results with video? So for this, I've focused on the purchase funnel. So for brand awareness, we kind of look for the total views, the reach, and the video completion rate. So how many people are completely watching that full video, if it's a 30-second video, if it's a 15. And then as we go further down the purchase funnel, we kind of look for more engagement metrics. So it could be click-through rate, and the engagement metrics that we went through earlier, so like likes, comments, as well as view duration as well. So are people only watching 5 seconds? Are people only watching 10 seconds? And then as we go into conversion, although video is usually used for that upper funnel brand awareness activity, you can use it for conversion too. So looking at the amount of purchases you might get off the back of a video, particularly with that format on Pinterest, and a return on ad spend as well. And other ways that we can measure results. So YouTube, Facebook, and Pinterest have brand lift studies. So if you're on YouTube, you may get survey, I know I get them quite a few, where you get a question saying, have you seen this brand recently? Have you seen an ad for this brand recently? Or do you recognize any of these brands? And basically what that is YouTube will create this study. So you have a holdout group of people who won't see your ad, and then you'll have a group of people who will be served your ad, and then they'll get posed this question at the end of the campaign, and then you can measure the brand lift or the ad recall lift for your video. So are people who have seen your ad able to recall your advertisement in a specific amount of time? So they're really good to do, especially if it's a brand new brand. Really good to get involved with the brand lift studies. And I think that was everything. I whizzed through.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Heidi. I think that was a whistle-stop tour of all things sort of social media advertising with video, and I think there are so many nuggets in there that people can take away and start applying to how they're creating ads for social at the moment. Because I know some things you're flagging there, it makes sense, but you don't necessarily think about it especially when you're new to advertising on social. It's a bit of a learning curve, isn't it, to figure all these things out. So yeah, thank you so much for chatting us through it. I can see we have had a couple of questions already, but if anyone has any more, do put them in the question box, because you will get all of Heidi's insights here, which is very valuable. So the first question is from Stephanie, who's just asked, are the stats that you shared applicable for B2B, B2C, or both? So are they kind of slanted either way, or?
I think they're just overall insight trends. There probably are some specific audience trends online somewhere, but yeah, these are just overall trends specifically. So overall, of all the clients or brands that are advertising on them platforms at that time.
Okay, so we can take it as a mix. We've had a question from Warren that's more sort of open-ended, just about understanding your views on LinkedIn ads, I think is what the question is asking. Correct me if I'm wrong, Warren, but yeah, just your views on, I guess, is LinkedIn advertising worth it?
Yeah, we have a few clients who run on LinkedIn, and again, it's more that B2B audience. With other platforms such as Facebook or YouTube, it's really difficult to find, target by job title, target by specific industry vertical, and LinkedIn is a great way to do that. So if it's definitely a B2B brand, LinkedIn is a great opportunity to advertise.
Nice. We've had another comment saying, if you're relatively new to advertising on social, should you kind of get into TikTok, or is it not really worth the investment? You should stick with sort of the tried and tested path first.
I think if your brand will work on TikTok, definitely try TikTok out. It's just so different from any other platform. Although the advertising platform is very new, the results that we've kind of seen up until now are really good, and especially for reach and engagement, it's a great platform for that. So I would say yes, definitely try TikTok if it's a platform that will work for your audience.
Okay, so worth giving it a go with those kind of caveats in place. Another comment about subtitles and audio. So do you kind of add subtitles to any ads that do have audio, or do you tend to kind of just steer clear of any like voiceovers and things in ads?
That's a really good point, actually. I haven't had, because we get provided the content from clients and then we just run with that. We've not ever ran, I don't think, with the audio or subtitles on, but I think that's a great opportunity and a great point, actually, to probably start including that into some videos that we run with. But yeah, I would definitely, that's definitely a good point, and definitely keep that in mind when creating video content for future.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things you don't think of until you're scrolling through the platform yourself and you think, oh, I would never actually turn the audio on, so I could be missing out on any sound that is with it. But yeah, it's an interesting point. Another comment around actually creating TikTok ads, and I know we've kind of talked about it should be more sort of natural, organic feeling content. So I don't know if you've got any insights from how the brands are creating stuff themselves, how they're actually filming the content, whether they're working with a studio or doing it completely themselves.
I think some brands are just doing it themselves. There is a creator marketplace on TikTok where you can actually like send a brief out to creators on TikTok, and you send a brief out, and then basically you select. So, say I wanted people to create content who were female, aged between 25 and 30, and content creators can then come back with a price, and you can kind of pay people to create that content for you on TikTok. So sometimes you don't even have to do it yourself. You can get the creators who are already have that reach behind them on TikTok to do it for you.
That's so ideal. It's almost like a win-win of like, yeah, the pressure's off you to create this thing, because I can imagine it's quite intimidating if, yeah, you're pretty new to the platform.
And actually, because there's that kind of opportunity, you can kind of go in with really low budgets and high budgets as well, and they'll come back to you with what you'll be able to achieve with that budget. So it's really good for brands who are just starting out and probably looking for more of a cost-efficient way.
Yeah, perfect. So you can kind of learn through the almost TikTok professionals, if you will, who have really established themselves and know what works and what doesn't, and go from there. Perfect. Well, if anyone has any more questions, you can put them in, but otherwise I think we will start wrapping up, because I'm conscious that it's getting towards the hour and we want to finish promptly. So Heidi, if you don't mind clicking onto the next slide. Just with our wrap up and contact details. So yeah, thank you so much again to Heidi for sharing your insights with us and answering those questions. I think it's all really valuable insight to help us level up our social ads game. If you had any questions for myself or Sparkle or about VideoScribe, you can contact me marketing@sparkle.com on email. I've also put Heidi's email address on there in case you had any questions that you wanted to directly reach out to her for. But otherwise, we hope you enjoyed today's session, and we hope to see you on another session soon, probably either later today or tomorrow. We have more things going on, so check out the agenda and register for those if you haven't already. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully see you soon. Cheers, bye.
Thank you.